The most distressing thing of all, he said, is that every love comes to a bad end, and the more bad, the more it was divine and winged in its first stages. There is no dream, however ideal it may be, which does not turn out to have a greedy brat clinging to its breast, no retreat or delightful love nest that does not fall to the spade. Such destruction is merely material, but there is another more merciless and secret which attacks invisible things. Imagine what it is like when, as you lean towards the being of your choice and say, "Let us fly away together into the depths of heaven," grave, stern voice whispers in your ear to remind you that our passions lie, that it is our own short-sightedness that gives beauty to another's face, our ignorance that invents sublime souls and minds, and that a day is bound to come when, to our more discerning sight, our idol is no more than an object, not of hatred, but of scorn and astonishment. 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 Madam, the healing pains of memory have their charms, and in the intoxication of sorrow we may sometimes find relief. After such a solemn warning, any loyal soul would cry,
"Lord, let me die here and now with my dreams still intact and unspoiled. Let me render my passion back to nature in all its purity, and take my unsullied crown elsewhere."
But the consequences of disillusion are terrible to bear. The sickly offspring of a dying love are grim debauch and hideous impotence, debauch of the mind and impotence of the heart, which make the first live on out of curiosity, and the second daily die of weariness. We are all, more or less, like a traveller who's traversed a foreign continent, and who, every day, sees the sun which once superbly gilded the beauties now left behind, setting on a banal horizon. He sits down, resigned, on miserable hills littered with nameless ruins, and tells the perfumes rising from the heath that they soar in vain into an empty sky, and tells the sickly grain that it will never thrive in that barren soil, and tells the birds which believe their union somehow blessed, that it is useless to build their nest in a land swept by murderous winds. He sets out once more towards a wasteland which he knows to be the same as what he has been travelling through, escorted by a pale wraith called Reason, which lights the barren trail with its feeble lantern, and, to quench the renewed thirst for passion to which from time to time he falls prey, pours him a draught of the poison of ennui. Sir, all that a poetic soul may suffer from such isolation, and how a heart's desiring of your kind must quickly consume itself in solitude. But your sorrows, so far as I have been able to make out from your florid speeches, arise from fanciful needs which are always unsatisfied and almost incapable of satisfaction. You do suffer, that's true enough, but perhaps your suffering is what constitutes your greatness, and is as necessary to you as happiness.